Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Soapbox session of International and Alumni Relations Secretary. My name is Saket Saurabh, and I am the Commissioner of Student Election Commission at IIT Madras. I, along with Chief Commissioner Mihir Chawla and Commissioner Adra, will be moderating today's Soapbox, and your candidate is Satyendra Pandey. Let me first tell you the format for the soapbox. First, we will begin with the candidates presentation. Candidates can present their PPT up to 8 minutes. Since Satyendra is the unanimous candidate, there won't be any cross questioning round. We will directly move to the executive council questioning. After the executive council questioning, we will move to the audience questioning part. So, I would like to invite Satyendra Pandey on the stage for his presentation.
Good evening, everyone. I am Satyendra Pandey, an undergrad student from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. This year, I am going to contest for International and Alumni Relations Secretary. To start with, I will give a small intro about what INDR Council is about. So, INDR Council stands for International and Alumni Relations Council. Under it, we have two segments. One is ACR Council and the other is G Council. So ACR Council looks after the alumni relations, the corporate relations, and also works towards the branding of the institute. G Council caters to the inbound and outbound students, brings in foreign opportunities for students, and also enable international cultural and knowledge exchange. Now, coming to my visions that I have for my tenure is first, enhancing alumni and student engagement. Second, increasing global opportunities for students. Third, establishing institute brand. And fourth is enriching global knowledge and culture. Now, this is my manifesto at a glance. I have divided my manifesto in four segments. One is alumni and corporate relations, the other is global engagement, then branding, and then item TV and C36. Starting with alumni and corporate relations, so there are, I have 5 initiatives under this segment. The first one is Alumni Career Mentorship. So in Alumni Career Mentorship, I will be mapping a student with an alumni who is working in the same field that he is interested to go for in future. This is not only limited to placement, but will also cater to students who want to go for research, as well as to the PG students, as well as to the incubated startups who want any guidance, as well as the people who want to go in some unconventional career. Then comes Winter Industry Program, which is about bringing alumni-based opportunities during the winter vacation in order to give students an exposure of the industries and the real life world. Then comes Alumni Esports Competition. The only purpose of this competition or this kind of initiative is to improve the engagement among alumni and give them a feeling of what they used to have while being in IIT Madras. Then comes Recall. So this is a graduating party for the 2020 and 2021 graduated batch who could not get their Willkommen, their final graduating party. So I will be conducting Recall for them. Then CSR Fund Exhibition, which will be a fund exhibition where student research projects will be exhibited and companies will be invited and they will choose a certain project to give them funding. Then moving on to my second segment, that is global engagement. I have 5 initiatives under this segment. One is International Item Hackathon, where the students from IIT Madras will be teaming up with the students from foreign university to participate in the hackathon. Then International Research Symposium, in which our IIT Madras students will be presenting their research work, and also foreign students will also be presenting their research work in presence of an academic setting. Then Acculturation, which is an initiative to expose foreign students to the rich and diverse culture of India via a series of events. Then Preserve, which is a global sustainable development challenge in which we'll bring some practical problem from some NGO or startup, and it will be based on some of the goals of United Nations Sustainable Development. Then G Weekender, which will be a 2-day multi-genre annual event to expose IIT Madras students to different foreign culture. Then the other segment is branding. In branding, I have 3 initiatives. One is Day at IITM. So We used to have day at ITM for UG students, but now I will be expanding it to the PG students and as well as to the humanities students. Then Parents Day. This event is to inculcate a feeling of appreciation and pride in parents of the graduating batch and to celebrate the journey of the students who are graduating this year. This will be conducted 2 days before convocation. Then, the last in the branding segment is my branding conclave. This conclave is to give students an opportunity to learn about branding by a series of workshops on topics like search engine optimization, social media optimization, and branding with the help of content creation. And also, I will be having a small competition in this conclave, which will be basically about how to brand a particular new product that is launched in the market. Then moving on to the next segment, that is ITM TV and C36. So under C36, I will be having Mascot Comics, which will be a series of comics highlighting the different aspects of IIT Madras, having Mascot as the main character. Then under ITM TV, I will be having two initiatives. One is about rebrand, which will be branding the research culture of IIT Madras with the help of making videos about the labs and the professors. And then the other initiative is Outside the Lab, which will be a series of small podcasts about the professors outside their lab or the class journey. Here are my credentials. I am the current head of Institute Branding Cell, which comes under INR Council. I am also super coordinator of MMCCM CMGFS. I was manager of eCell in 2020 and 21 academic year, and I was also the project member of C5 in the same academic year. Thank you guys, and as I say that my will stands strong as my candidature, so I promise that I will be giving my 100% efforts in order to reach INR Council to new heights. Thank you guys.
Second, you may sit here. Now we will move to the executive council questioning. Yeah.
Shall I start? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All the best, Satendra.
Thank you.
I'll start with the fundamentals first. I have a bunch of questions related to that, and then the other EC members and the heads can ask.
Yeah.
Starting off, like very simple. What according to you are the roles and responsibility of an INR secretary? Like keep it very short and like very crisp, and mention all of them.
Yeah, so one of the major responsibilities of India Secretary is to be a bridge between the deans, that is the office, and the student teams that is there under ACR Council and the GE Council. Apart from it, the other responsibility of India Secretary is to collaborate and to help other secretaries in terms of any alumni related or any international related health or engagement that they need.
Okay, and is that it?
Apart from it, taking some new initiatives and working with ITMA and ACR office and development office and ICSR. So these are
Really? I thought ACR also had branding under it, it had corporate relations under it, GE had the culture aspect into it, then it had inbound and outbound students.
Yeah. So that is basically the work division that comes under the student teams. The major responsibilities of India Secretary, apart from the team responsibilities, are these which I mentioned. I mean, I didn't mention the team-wise responsibilities of INA Secretary.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Huh? No, that's okay. So next question is, what all boards are the? This is the INA secretary part of.
Uh, uh, I think I don't know about it.
You don't know, and you're contesting for the position of INA secretary. How is that even possible? Dude, if you not know what boards you're part of, then how do you want to make change? Because if you're not part, if you don't know the boards that you're part of ACR board, you're part of GE board, and you're part of board of students. That's it. There are three boards that you're part of. If you're not part of the ACR board, you can't make institutional changes. If you're not part of board of GE, you can't make the change that you made, that the current INA secretary made about the global internship program. And if you're not board of students, then that also will not pass through.
Yeah.
Cool. So far, so. Like coming to the alumni corporate relations side or alumni side of things. Again, a very simple question. How are IIT MA and ACR office different from each other? Like, why are there two bodies regarding alumni inside institute?
So, if we see, IIT MA is a private body, whereas ACR is a part of IIT Madras, basically making it a government body. IIT MA's main motive is to increase engagement among alumni and conduct city meets and different alumni engagement activities for them. Whereas for ACR office, their major motive is to have to make alumni contribution part of institute's development. I mean, with the help of funding or even engaging them for institute's development.
Then why is IIT MA existing? Like ACR office can still do it, right? Like why is there an alumni association separate and an administrative body as alumni and corporate relations? Like what is the point? Like why do these two bodies exist? You still didn't answer. You just told me one is private and one is not.
Yeah.
That doesn't answer my question.
One other reason of so IIT MA engages alumni in more informal way, whereas ACR does that in a more formal way, and also IIT MA, I mean IIT MA, ACR office is more institute based. It can't go outside the boundaries of institute. But when it comes to IIT MA,
what do you mean boundaries of institute? Can
I mean,
you elaborate?
So like IIT MA conducts like city meets that are conducted, or the initiatives. Some of the IIT MA initiatives are also not in the. I mean, it's not under the boundaries of, inside the boundaries of IIT Madras, but in Bangalore, Delhi, the chapter meets that are.
Oh, so you're saying ACR only conducts events within IIT Madras campus and not outside? Is the physical constraint what differs both of them? Then if that's, then it's completely illogical to have two teams. If it's physical dependent, then GE also should have one which goes outside to Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and one which has events inside IIT Madras. Take your time, take 30 seconds, and you can answer after.
Yeah, we will move to the next question. You may go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll come back to this question because it's very fundamental in nature. We'll take it later, yeah. So, I mean, it kind of was a follow-up for, next question is kind of a follow-up. So, in what capacity is the secretary affiliated with IIT MA and ACR office? Like, why is a secretary required to be affiliated with IIT MA and ACR office?
So the reason why a secretary needs to be affiliated with IIT MA is to, if I want to conduct any initiative for alumni, then I need to go via IIT MA for the engagement purpose, and also, and I mean, if I want to have alumni for something more formal purpose, or for example fundraising, or inviting them for a let's say leadership lecture series kind of initiative that happens. So for them, for those kind of initiatives, a secretary will go via ICR office, and for engagement purpose it will go to via IIT MA.
Okay, fair. One addition is that ACR office being an administrative body, IITMA is not part of the board of ACR council, ACR's office. So because of which you will have to, if there is some administrative changes that you have to do regarding alumni and corporate relations, you'll have to go through ACR. But whereas if there's anything apart from that, you'll go to IIT. Okay, so again, similarly, right? So you are not a sole bearer of reaching out to alumni. Like students can reach out to alumni through IITMA, ACR. They need not go through you. How essentially, why should an alumni relations secretary exist? Like you are international and alumni relations secretary, right?
Yeah.
Why should alumni relations part of the secretary exist? Because essentially you can't stop people from reaching out to IITM or ACR. Like what additionally are you doing that an institute position of alumni relations exists?
Yeah, so a student can definitely reach out to any alumni with the help of ACR office or IITMA. But if I want to conduct some wide initiative for a bigger set of audience, then it needs to be taken. Then it needs to be ideated or started by a secretary. For example, if the alumni career mentorship program which I want to start this in my tenure. So this is something which will cater to a wide set of audience, and I mean a student can't directly start. I mean there are many students who even don't know that they can approach an alumni via IITM or ACR. So there might be some students who know about this opportunity, so they will contact alumni by themselves for any help that they need. But if let's say for the students who don't know which constitute to a majority of population, so for them I guess a secretary is needed to have broad initiatives which caters to a larger set of audience. That's why there is a need of alumni relations secretary.
What do you mean by broad initiatives? That doesn't answer.
Yeah, so what I mean by that is having initiatives which caters to a larger set of students, rather than, see, if a student just go to ACR office or IITM office, then he will be only catering to his own personal need. But when a secretary is doing the same, doing any kind of initiative, then he will be catering to a bigger set of audience. And
Can you give an example, like how does a secretary do that?
Yeah, so for example, let's say last year Higher Ed Alum Connect happened, right? So in that, there might be students before who would have been approaching alumni for the research help or research guidance with the help of IITM or ACR. But when last year it happened, we got around 70 to 80 odd students. We helped them during their SOP process. So, statement of purpose process, writing statement of purpose process. So those many students might not have reached to IITM or ACR office for their help if that particular program would not have been in place.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so INS Student Council has branding under it. Like, why should INS Student Council have branding as part of his, one of the mission points? Why can't it be a separate entity as the whole college requires branding? Is not respective of one particular sphere. All spheres require branding on their own. And IIT Madras as a whole requires branding. Then why, as you were the institute branding cell, like why should the institute branding cell stay under INS Student Council? And why is branding a vision point of it?
So, first of all, one of the visions of INDIA Council is branding IIT Madras.
Why?
Yeah. So, if we see the international part and the alumni part, so we can, the number of international opportunities that we get, right, or the international exposure that our students get, depends a lot on the branding of the institute, branding of the particular institute. And it also helps in improving our QS ranking and NIRF ranking also. In the same way, if we have a better brand of IIT Madras, then we will have a better set of students, a more talented pool of students coming to IIT Madras, which will form the future pool of alumni. And in that way, international part is there and alumni part is there. And in order to improve this international relations.
No. Over here, you're just trying to connect branding with international and alumni.
Yeah.
You do realize that branding has other aspects as well, right? Then why should the International Alumni Relations Student Council have branding under it? By the way, your slide said council, it's student council. Just a correction. And why should branding be there in the INA Student Council and not be a separate body on its own? You're still not answering that. You're just trying to connect international and alumni with it.
So when I can take 10 seconds. So the reason why IBC should be under INDR Council is because, so as I told earlier that one of the visions of INDR Council is to have that alumni corporate relations. Basically, it caters to the alumni and corporate relations part, as well as it caters to the international relations part, right? So the vision of branding actually complements these two visions. That's why there is a need. That's why IBC or any branding cell should be under under INDR Council, because it brands IIT Madras as a whole, which also complements the other two visions of INDR Council.
Okay, you're kind of repeating the same thing you said before. But now I'll kind of move on to the GE side of things. So again, a very fundamental questions. Which all sectors within GE have advisors for it?
So currently GE has 3 advisors. One is global academics, then global opportunities and global conference. Preeti Agalya ma'am is for global academics.
No, I'm not asking for names. So global opportunities along with research, by the way,
Okay.
they both are together. And then just again, this sounds very academic centric. Then I just want to understand from your end, what is according to you the vision of GE office, and how does the student council fit into it? Because it's so academic, the advisor itself are very academic. There are no other aspects included in it. Then why should a student council exist on its own? And how does it complement the GE office's vision?
Yeah, so one of the visions of GE office currently is to increase the inbound students in IIT Madras, and also at the same time, to increase the inbound students in IIT Madras, and also at the same time give more foreign opportunities to IIT Madras students, right? So here the one of the main visions or main motivation of the student team should be, or which is actually to give a very nice hospitality to the incoming inbound students, which will in turn help in improving our inbound numbers, and at the same time conducting information sessions and also some of the initiatives by which our students can get a foreign exposure. That is something which aligns with the visions of GE office.
Okay, fine, cool, that's good. So I think you must be knowing that there's a split of GE and ACR secretary is going to happen in the future, right? What according to you are the potential pros and cons for it, and also do you think it should be done, and if yes, when should it be done?
So currently if we see GE Council, it is still in its growing phase. We have 3 teams right now under GE Council, and under ACR Council we have 8 teams. So GE Council is currently is in a very growing stage, and currently I don't think that we need to have different secretaries for both the councils. But with time, as it grows bigger and the roles and responsibilities increases, then I think in future we can, after 3-4 years, we can have a different G Council Secretary and different ACR.
No, why are you saying 3-4 years? Like, why not like next your tenure itself or next
Because
tenure?
yeah, so ACR Council currently has 8 teams, and
How does the number of team define if this secretary should be split?
yeah, that is true. But actually, I mean, we can have a direct proportion with the number of teams and the responsibilities that a given council is taking up.
No, like SGS sphere has very less number of teams as compared to any other sphere. And whereas like INR has GS 3 teams, and similarly drawing parallels, SGS is a separate sphere on its own. You're not combining SGS and HAS, right? Then over here, why you're combining INR like G and ACR? Like, why not split it? Now itself, like, why wait?
Yeah, so currently G Council, I mean, we do not have any, we have some fixed set of initiatives right now, but we do not have many fixed set of initiatives. With time, we will have some set of initiatives which we will be keep doing every year. And also the new initiative that we are taking up right now will also might become permanent initiative in future. Right.
Do you think only the initiatives done by the student council determine if there is like a separation that needs to be done? Just trying to understand from you.
Yeah, so actually office plays a very significant role when it comes.
Office is anyway separate.
Yeah,
No?
it's actually separated. So yeah, if there are more initiatives taken up by the G office, and the present structure, I mean the present secretary, if he is not able to take up the workload of if the present secretary is not able to take the workload of both ACR Council and G Council combined, then then there is a need to separate these two bodies. But currently, I don't think the responsibilities are so much that a single person can't handle them. In future, if it happens, that the responsibilities are much higher than a single person caliber, then yes, we need to have different secretaries for the different bodies.
Cool. I'll ask one more question and then I'll give it to you guys. So, good answers. One last question from my end for now. How many on-ground events happen in INR as of now?
So, currently we have International Day and then INDIA Day that used to.
INR Day. What is INR Day? I don't know. Like, I've been a secretary for an year. I don't know what an INR Day is.
There was an International Day and one other day also. I forgot to say. No. So yeah, so we used to have International Day and no, it's not actually Sangam. Sangam, yeah, Sangam is there. But apart from it, we also had one other something a parallel of International Day that we used to have in the or in the event semester. Yeah.
You're talking about Willkommen.
No, it's not about Willkommen. Actually, it is, that comes under GE Council only, but I forgot his name. So, but with ACR, I guess.
No, continue. What else happens on ground?
Yeah, so with ACR we have IDMA Gandhar Sangam, then Willkommen is there. Apart from it, if we have industry conclave, which is happening this year, so it might also happen on ground. Then we used to have information exchange session that is also on ground.
No, I'm talking about major events. I'm not talking about like fun day sessions.
Okay. Alumni night also happens, so that is also an on ground event. Then.
You're forgetting a major event that happens.
Reunions.
Okay. Okay, so you like kind of listed down most of the major ones that happen. There is Institute Day also has a very big involvement of INR Secretary. Never mind. So about 6 you listed down. In your manifesto you have mentioned that you want to do about 7 to 8 new on-ground initiatives. Okay. Where is the resource like manpower and time coming from? Like I want to understand that. Like what is your timeline? most of your timelines that you're mentioned in your feasibility report overlap, and most of the events which are happening at a large scale, that's what you've shown, like glorious events, are gonna will require more than 2 teams involvement minimum. Where are the resources coming from?
Just a second, I'll see my timeline once.
Oh, I thought you would know it by heart.
No, no. I know some of my initiatives, but not all. Yeah. So, in terms of having more initiatives on ground, so we need to first understand that from the last 2 years we were completely online, right? And this year we are going to the offline transition. And currently we have teams in these 2 years. The teams have gone more mature, and also they can have their own sets of initiatives and they can carry forward. I mean carry out them, right? In terms of, let's say, for example, industry conclave. So the so right now CRC has made that industry conclave basically a flagship event of its own, right? In the same way, if we start including more and more initiatives under different teams, then they can have their, like, those initiatives will grow big, and also, like, they can accommodate them, and also if they want they can get more people also in teams, because currently, I mean, different teams of Indian Council have very different sets of vision. So that's the reason that that's the reason why we can't have a very, a flagship event which covers the whole Indian Council. That's why I have taken up some 6 to 7 initiatives, new initiatives under different teams.
I understand the why part. I am not understanding the how part. Where are the resources coming from?
Yeah.
I'm not understanding where are you getting the manpower and where are you getting the time from?
So, if we see, I mean, the major initiatives that I have listed down, like, for example, let's just start with reunions, right? So, reunions, generally the major reunions that happens, it happens in December. So, for December, I have only 2 initiatives. According to the new initiatives, according to my manifesto, that is, one is alumni esports, and in alumni esports, I have taken feasibility from the Sangam esports convener, and it's not something which will require a lot of, I mean, there will be 3 to 4 people will be needed for it, but those people don't need to be very experienced strategists or manager position students. I mean, we can include more volunteers. In order to compensate for that manpower, and also it will have another advantage for INDER Council as a whole, that the engagement of INDER Council with the first years and the second years also will improve by including volunteers. And apart from it, a day at ITM, I had day at ITM for the PG students. I had day at ITM for the PG for the humanities students in December. So that also comes under IBC. I mean, none of the events are actually coinciding or conflicting with each other. I mean, the different teams are taking up those initiatives, right? So there is not a conflict between different teams. A given team is taking up a certain initiative.
Okay, fine. I mean, not really fully, agreed upon with that, but okay, cool. Yeah.
So you do agree that, as Sarthak said, there are quite a few on-ground initiatives and other initiatives that you want to do, and by design your entire sphere is a lean sphere, right? Not as much manpower, but there is. So don't you think the INIR sphere is better off doing events in collaboration with other spheres while handling resources and calling it a combined partnership?
We can have collaborative events with the other spheres, but at the same time, I mean, we are not a very lean sphere actually. We have around 130 people inside the entire council. So that actually does not make us a lean sphere. We have people. So by having more initiatives, or I mean more in-house initiatives of Indian Council, that will make branding of Indian Council more. That will improve the branding of Indian Council among the GSP. Because currently this is one of the major problems which Indian Council is facing. We are not getting unfortunately, with time, Indian Council is becoming, the less priority team to get in.
So I'll put it this way, right? So there are a lot of events and things that are happening on campus. So with every event that is happening, you can associate the word international or alumni to the event, and you can do it. But do you think you are better off doing it or giving that work to the event that is already happening to do it, and you collaborate with them? That is my question.
So there are a lot of events that are happening on campus. On the same day, there will be 2 or 3 emails that a student receives about, let's say, one alumni event, one career development session, and probably a cultural or sports event. So this has been a problem in the last 2-3 years specifically, because each team now is trying to do as many events as possible and create a niche for themselves. But for the general student, this feels like there is a confusion about what to attend. Let's say an alumni leadership series is happening and a career development session is happening, right? Both both cater to almost the same kind of audience that would like to upskill themselves or know more about their career prospects or something like that, right? In this scenario, don't you think that you should cut down on the number of events and try to focus on as many collaborative events as possible, work with other spheres, and try to maintain, quality over quantity, rather than burdening students with something like as many initiatives like you have proposed? So you can answer Sid's question first and both together.
Actually, forgot six questions. Yeah. So that's right. That we have a lot of initiatives that are happening on ground in IIT Madras. But we need to understand that there are 11,000 students currently in the campus, right? I mean, currently in college, around 11,000 students. We at times the different events that are happening, that might be catering to a different set of people. So it's very important to have collaborating events, because that will also help the other spheres as well as the India sphere to grow. But at the same time, if we have some of our own initiatives and some of our own events, then our visibility will also improve. At the same time,
Bro, I'll ask a very simple question.
Yeah.
Are you IAS Secretary of IAR Council or are you IAS Secretary of IIT Madras?
I'm a secretary of IIT.
Then what should be your main vision or sole purpose?
Yeah.
Is it to increase the visibility of IAR Council? Is this your motive to become IAS Secretary or to be IAS Secretary?
This is one of my motive, to improve the visibility of IIT Council among
Because
students.
what I am getting on the manifesto and whatever answers you have come up, is that you are more worried or you are prioritizing that particular thing over all other things. Because the question of every answer that I am getting is that the visibility of IAS sphere will decrease, or you have to improve the visibility of IAS sphere.
Some events by default that IR Council can only conduct. He gave some, right? For example, the International Day is all yours. Then you have the Willkommen reunions. So you have enough visibility there, and there is some Sangam event as well. So there are some events that you ought to conduct and no one else can. So in addition to that, why do you need more visibility? Let's take the placement team for example, right? Our only visibility is the placement and internship process.
Yeah.
We don't go around conducting other events to get more visibility. So the idea here is everyone should stick to what they ought to do and try to improve your visibility within that, not more things.
Yeah, that's very true. But see, with time we need to improve. We need to increase the scope or increase the boundaries that we are catering to previously, right? Earlier we had, so right now we have 6 initiatives, or the 6 major initiatives that we do, right? For a growth, I mean, with time, every council or every student team should grow. Even in terms of, if we take example of placement. So the earlier opportunities in terms of placement, what we used to get, with time it is improving, right? The numbers also and the kind of companies also. The same goes for our Indian Council. The kind of initiatives that, the new kind of initiatives that we are bringing in, like let's say for example, I'll take an example of branding conclave. Okay. So this is something which is catering to the people who want to just learn about branding. So, and that also comes under the vision of IBC, that is Institute Branding Cell, right? So these kind of new initiatives and needs to be taken, needs to be incubated under IIR Council. So it will also increase the number of opportunities and the learning opportunities for students also. It's not that just that I am trying to get more initiatives just to improve the visibility. Also at the same time it is increasing opportunities also for the students.
Okay, so you mentioned about IBC doing branding conclave, right? Can you help me understand the vision of branding, Institute of Branding Cell? I'm looking at the IR rulebook right now.
So, one of the major initiatives, one of the major visions of IBC is to brand IIT Madras and basically helping in the branding of IIT Madras by a
Yes.
set of initiatives.
Yes. Now, how does branding conclave fits into this vision?
Yeah. So, we
Also, just to quote you, or just to by reading your feasibility report, are you aware of the master classes and the other things that are done by the ECL team in eSummit this year? Content creation, search engine optimization workshops that were done as a part of eSummit this year through master classes. And I think CDs.
Yeah. So today morning at 10:30 in the same area, there was a branding workshop that was conducted by an alumni. So the company is called Core Voice, and there were quite a few people who attended, about 20-30 people who are interested in marketing. So this is predominantly looks like a career development initiative rather than what the vision of the branding cell is, right? It is to brand IIT Madras, not teach the students of IIT Madras branding. So those two are different things. I'd like to understand how this branding conclave fits within that vision.
Yeah. So, one initiative, one of the vision of IBC, or basically the major vision of IBC, is to brand IIT Madras, right? So, with the help of branding conclave, we are actually catering to students in terms of getting them the opportunities to learn about branding. Because let me tell you about the target audience that we are catering to. So, there are students who have incubated their startup, or there are students who have started their own media pages, Instagram, LinkedIn, like that, and basically kind of trying to become a YouTuber or anything like that, right? So, if they want to increase, or if they want to basically expand their scope of work, they need to learn about branding, right? So, that is the reason. In return, it will also help in improving the branding of IIT Madras. If a student is learning about branding, then yeah.
If he or she wants to learn about branding,
Yeah.
like I mentioned, there are career development sessions that are already happening. There are things that are done by the ECL team. There are culture projects that are going to start in the culture sphere as well.
There are management courses available in towns for UG students to take. So I understand the intent, it is a good intent, but how does it fit in the vision of IBC is the question here. It's a good intent, I'm not saying no. But how does it fit under IBC? I think we are going on a recurring theme here, right? Intention is good, idea is good, but how does it fit in the sphere?
Yeah, so with time, this is something which I thought of as an head. Even my previous head also thought the same. That we need to make IBC as a main branding body of IIT Madras. So if we want to make IBC as a main branding body of IIT Madras,
Let him complete that.
so it's not that the visions are currently, or the current visions of IBC are just that we need to brand IIT Madras. In my tenure, the initiatives that were taken up were according to those visions. But we can also increase the visions of IBC. That is completely permissible, because that makes a team or any council to grow, right?
See,
So, yeah.
the IBC was set up to brand IIT Madras outside the campus and within the institute as well.
Yeah.
But see, the IBC also did events on mental health. When there are already teams within the institute that are very focused on this particular matter. Mithil, Sathi are operating very well in the last few years. They have been doing a very fantastic job. Why does the IBC have to, foray into these spheres that are already doing well? That is not branding as such, that is just visibility. Visibility is not equal to branding.
So to add to Sathi and Mit, Sarang also had a social campaign for 2 years which focused on mental health.
So just to clear about the mental health thing, this year we had Reboot, and it was not about mental health, it was about lifestyle. So to make it clear, and we do not have any particular body in Insti right now which just caters to lifestyle. The second thing is, which just caters,
Let him complete the answer.
right. Apart from it, one of the other things that I want to tell is, so one of the other thing that I want to say is, we had Reboot under Dan Utsav. Okay. So Dan Utsav is something which we do basically to show the social side of IIT Madras, right? During the online tenure, there were many students who were facing the issues of lifestyle issues and sleeping habit issues, posture issues, ergonomics issues. Okay. So we have taken up the questions of those particular students only and asked the experts. There were no new questions which were added by any IBC member. Okay. So this was something which we were doing as a dan. It was a dan of knowledge to the people who were facing some issues in their life, right? This was not even when we did related to psychology, which was something also related to mental health. Then we had a collaboration with Sati. But when we did for ergonomics, then I think we don't need to collaborate with Sati, right? So that's how Reboot fits in IBC's vision.
Hello. Yeah. So one of the core functions of IBC is to brand institute to the outside world and internally as well. Correct. So do you agree that opening and closing ranks for JEE programs and GATE programs for IIT Madras is a fair reflection of branding to the outside?
Yeah.
Okay. So between 2020 JOSA and 2021 JOSA, our opening ranks and closing ranks across all the branches came down. So instead of focusing on that core function, why do you want to foray into other things? Is a question that I want to ask.
See, see, it's not that I'm not focusing on those aspects. Okay, this year, when I will be doing day and writing, so last year we did it online just because of the constraints that came up due to COVID, right? But this year when we are going to do day and ITM, we'll have it on 2 phases. I'm just saying about UG. We will have it in 2 phases. First, for the top 200 rankers, they will be called to campus and they will be shown all the facilities that are there in campus. And also, in terms of funding, we have one alumni who is ready to fund all those 200 students to and from movement along with their parents. Okay. We will have an online session also as we had last year. So this is something, I mean, how I am improving day at ITM also in order to decrease that closing rate. This year, from this year, we'll also start doing day at ITM for the PG students. I mean the GATE qualified students in order to decrease our rank, right? So it's not that I'm not focusing on the other vision, the previous visions of IBC, but it's just that, I mean, with time we need to, improve increase the visions also and also have some more initiatives. I mean, otherwise the team becomes very redundant. It just seems that we are going to have the same kind of initiatives or same 2 or 3 sets of events that we are going to do every year, right? So that is the major reason why I am including more kind of initiatives in under IBC.
Got it. But my genuine advice is focus more. We have a lot of new infrastructure on campus. Make sure it is branded properly to the outside world.
Yeah, for that I have rebranded.
Hi, so we had a question about the winter industry program. You've mentioned that you want to provide institute students an opportunity to use their knowledge in practical projects and internships. So how you want to do this is basically through collaborations with ACR, and so you mentioned that how you want to outreach to the relevant for relevant projects and internships through ACR. I want to understand how exactly are you going to avoid a clash that potentially takes place between, say, those startups and those sort of profiles that come for the ECEL Winter Intern Fair, and say any sort of profiles that come for the Insti interns, because effectively you're creating a different channel for approaching the same set of companies or same set of profiles and giving students opportunities. So can you provide a little more clarity on how you're going to involve the ACR on that, because that's how it's mentioned in your feasibility report.
So first of all, I want to make it clear that it's not a substitute or a clash to the existing ECEL intern fair. It's a complement to the existing structure. We need to have more opportunities for the students who are there in campus, because there are students who haven't got any internship, and we need to make more and more opportunities available for the students. That is the vision why we need to have some more, some more channels of getting opportunities. So that's why, I mean, when I was thinking of this initiative, I had this thought in mind that it might, clash with ESL interfere. But it's not about clashing, but it's about complementing the existing structure in terms of opportunities. And also, how will I make sure that this clash does not happen? Is that let's say ESL interfere. So basically, you guys will also have a set of teams that you might have got. I mean, any alumni-based startup, right? So if you have an alumni-based startup that you have under ESL interfere, we'll get that list and we'll not contact those particular alumni. We'll ask the channel by which we are approaching to alumni is via ACR office or via ITMA. Most probably we'll go with ITMA. And also I have got some of the and also we'll not only be approaching the startups. We'll also be approaching alumni who are working in some industry. So any industry-based projects or any industry-based opportunities are also we are trying to get. Okay. And I also got around. There is also one alumni opportunity. I mean, alumni startup opportunity which I have got. I mean, I talked with Shadi and I got to know about it. So it's not that all the opportunities are being covered by ESL Interfair, and that's why I am bringing one more winter industry program. And for sure, not at all I want to clash it with ESL Interfair, just to complement the existing structure.
Fair enough. So while I completely understand your point of complementing the existing initiative, I want you to think about this from the student perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, what's happening is that if they need winter internships, they have the ESL Winter Intern Fair to go to.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're basically making it a little more confusing, not little,
Mm-hmm.
more confusing for them. With respect to, the fact that, okay, now if I need a winter internship, there are two places to do it. So again, reiterating the facts that have been put here already, is it not wiser to do what you're mentioning, say in a collaborative perspective?
Mm-hmm.
Adding to it, I mean, if there are existing resources and existing manpower that is in place, like you mentioned, you told it for Reboot, right? You felt that there is mental health, so you should collaborate with Sati. Now, considering that there are existing bodies and existing measures and resources in place, don't you think it's a wise thing to collaborate?
Yeah, I have talked with Ramkamal and he will be giving me portal access. So I'll be putting my opportunities on his portal.
So yes, how that functions is that we will give you a portal to operate your thing. That is not an issue, which will be taken care of by the office. But I think here the question is, why do you want to run another set of events? So for example, if you have to run an internship process, right, there are three things. Companies coming, students registering, some tests and PPTs and interviews will happen and they'll get selected. So what she's telling is that if they're doing one, you're doing one, you have to make sure your test calendars don't clash, PPT calendars don't clash, interview calendars don't clash. You can't have one student having two commitments in winter, okay? So you'll have to make sure all of that. That is quite a bit of logistical, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
So all she's telling is, why don't you do two together? Why can't you just collaborate?
Yeah, I think this year ESL internship happened in collaboration with the internship fair that is happening, right? I mean, the people who didn't get...
That was summer intern fair.
I'm sorry.
And as a wise choice, we decided that it should be in collaboration if we are opening it for pre-final years. We didn't went ahead and do it just like that by ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. We can collaborate with ESL
You mentioned you thought of it that this thing struck your mind that there might be a clash.
No, actually...
You mentioned.
I mentioned, so that thing came in my mind that ESL might think that it is a clash with...
It's not about thinking. It might be a clash. You thought of it. Still you didn't had anything speaking to, I think, both the ESL heads, neither to me nor any of the faculty advisors to discuss on it. This is just one point. CSR fund exhibition, it's already happening. It happened last year in Industry Conclave as well. It happened. It currently happened this year in CIFA Open House. Then
so by the way, I'm not doing it for
Let me finish.
CIFA.
For Nirma starters as well, right? A lot of Nirma starters are put up in CIFA Open House this time and every year. Let me finish. International IITM Hackathon. Okay. Then some sustainability challenge, international research symposium. International research symposium happened this year as part of Shastra. It was named Data Symposium. There are already poster presentations that happened. Yeah. It happens in RSG also. G Weekender to give, okay, G Weekender is free. Then Preserve, a sustainability challenge. I think this year's, if you know, ESL social campaign was suspended. Previously as well, as part of Shastra, there have been multiple competitions focused on sustainability and specific to SDGs as well.
One addition that if you have spoken to the G advisors, you would know, or even Ismail or Gurmer, you would know. So there is a plan of adding a Center for Sustainability Development by the GE office, by the Institute of Eminence Funds, and there's going to be a sustainable design challenge that's going to be funded completely by the alums.
Yeah.
If you knew it, this wouldn't be your manifesto point, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they opened it yesterday. So, I mean,
So, see, one of the things that I want to clear with Preserve is, in Preserve,
No, the broader question is again, do we want to collaborate or not, first of all? Second, if you want to collaborate or if things came to your mind that it might clash with any of the bodies, be it co-curricular, culture or sport, did you speak to any of the concerned people?
so see, first of all, I think I spoke to Shreyas once about any of the international initiatives which ESL wants to do along with, I mean, in the next tenure that ESL wants to do in terms of, any international kind of initiative, right? And you told that it basically depends on the upcoming heads. That was something told to me, and yeah, so, and also I didn't have anything related to ESL or international initiative related to entrepreneurship or something like that. And also at the same time, see, one thing that I want to make clear is having an international ITM hackathon. Okay, so in that, I mean, we actually don't need help of any other sphere for conducting it, because I'll tell you how. So contacting to different universities for getting their students on board, getting our students for that particular competition is something we can just get, and
Okay.
then. Yeah, like we can shoot a mail and put it on D2C, and
So basically you are saying Shastra events team don't do anything.
No, I'm not saying Shastra Events team do not do anything. I'm just saying that it is something which we can also do, and it also comes under our purview also, our vision also.
So from what I understand, there are quite a few resources that are going to be involved in this international IITM hackathon, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to invest so much resources, and the hackathons usually have a problem statement and they have multiple tracks.
Yeah.
So who is going to be supplying you with these problem statements? And since quite a few resources are involved, these problem statements should be actual problems where the answers can be used to solve them.
Yeah.
So where are you going to source the problem statements from?
So I've talked with Raghunathan sir regarding it, and he told that we can get some problem statement from the professor, and also at the same time we can approach ITM Research Park startup, incubated startup for the same thing, for the problem statements. So there is not we can get problem statement from there, and also at the same time, I wanted to complete it in my last answer that we can, contacting international students or contacting foreign students, we can do it via office, and I'm taking it feasibility also.
How is it any different from any Shastra event apart from getting in students from the other universities? Except that, what is tell me any difference apart from it? And to give you one example, 5% of the participants in Shastra Hackathon this year weren't from India.
Yeah, that's nice, but it's also, we need to understand the same thing that having something, international having something which is related to a hackathon.
Why shouldn't it be part of Shastra then?
Hmm?
Why it shouldn't be part of Shastra then?
Yeah, it can, conducting.
I'm asking a very specific question and a very straightforward question. If it's an international hackathon, if it's done or conducted by some body of IIT Madras, why it shouldn't be part of Shastra?
Okay, if you are saying it's not, and I kind of disagree, but even if you're saying it's not, what more that you're adding to it than what Shastra could add?
The point here is not just what Shastra could add. The question is what can you do better? In the first case, let's say case 1 where you and Shastra had collaborated and done this. Case 2 is you doing it alone. Don't you think the case 1 is better than case 2?
You mentioned about institute branding, right? Any international hackathon not coming from the technical festival of the institute. How does it brand the technical festival and the institute itself?
So currently, I don't think that we need to have a branding of it just a technical festival in order to get a hackathon, because see, IIT Madras in itself is a very good technical brand. So if we are having any hackathon, I mean that is branding in itself, and even if it's
Hello.
not coming
By branding Shastra, you are branding IIT Madras. That is what you are missing out on here.
yeah, and see, the thing is, any initiative that we are doing it, okay, any initiative, I mean, for example, ITM, this international ITM hackathon also, this is something which is done by OOT, and it also comes under the visions of, I mean, one of the visions of OOT is to provide international opportunities to students, right? So, in not any scenario, it is going outside the vision of the team that is conducting it, right?
I wanted to clarify one thing. So, what according to you is the vision of opportunities and outreach team or G Council itself that is different from Shastra? Apart from the international participation, just remove that aspect and tell me what, in concise two or three statements, what would be your
So
vision?
one of the vision of G Council is to improve our inbound students, which like improve our inbound students and number of inbound students, but that is not something which is a vision of Shastra, right? So with this with international ITM hackathon or with Preserve also, we first of all we are contacting the universities with whom we have MOUs with, right, previously. So if those students are participating in the competitions, it will help us. I mean, those students might consider to be an inbound student in future. First thing, and second thing, it will also help to increase the foreign students, the incoming foreign students in INSTI, which also help us to basically. The Institute of Eminence, one of the objectives of Institute of Eminence is to improve the inbound students, right? So with all these initiatives, we are actually improving the inbound number of inbound students, and which is catering to the one of the objective of Institute of Eminence. So that's why it's fair to have hackathons and competitions under G Council.
So you remember there was a hackathon conducted before the pandemic. Do you know what hackathon was conducted at it, and it had international participation in the campus? Do you know what was it?
I guess it was about climate change.
No, it was called Indo-Singapore Hackathon. So the purview of that hackathon was to solve social problems and produce prototypes, and it had multiple tracks. But do you know what is the key difference between what you are proposing and what that hackathon was? Okay, so I'll clarify that. It was basically taken up by the Ministry of HRD, and IIT Madras was just the what do you say? The location. It was the host. So do you think, and because in the beginning you said that GE Council is in a very infant stage and it's growing right now, so do you think such a scale could be taken up by the council itself? Because you are suggesting Preserve, International Hackathon, and you have Youth Summit in between the paragraphs, you didn't propose it as one of the headings, and you have International Research Symposium, and one more thing you have weekend. So do you think that these all events can be taken up by the GE Council right now? And if it is done, do you think these could be the the outcomes, that very solid outcomes which can make GE Council as an autonomous body?
Yeah, so see, first of all, we need to accept the fact that with time we need to start increasing our the initiative that we are taking up, right, under the GE Council. And also, yeah, as I said earlier, that with time, as the initiatives increase and as the manpower increase and the responsibility on a given team or a given council increase, like on the GE Council, then also the secretary would be having more responsibilities from the GE Council side also, and then there will be a then there comes a fair basically a fair reason why then how we can divide the secretary position for both the councils.
So what do you think is the role of GE?
Wait. We will move to the audience question after this question.
So I'll just ask one question.
Yeah, like after audience questioning, we will come again to this.
It's not said we'll go to audience first. We'll come back to you. We'll have time.
Just tell me, what do you think is the role of a GE core then? What does a GE core do?
Yeah, so currently G Core looks up to all the three teams, the current three teams that are there of global engagement, and he also basically takes care of all the initiatives that are happening, and also acting as a bridge between office and.
So where is the role of IR secretary here?
So, so IR secretary also helps in the functioning of the GE goals. I mean, it's something in the nascent stage. It's in the nascent stage, so it's growing. So that's why we need to have a IR secretary along with the GE course in order to see that growth of GE council.
Okay, so like anyone from audience who has a question may raise your hand and our coordinator will pass you a mic. Anyone from the audience? Yeah, no, wait, we have a virtual audience question, so.
Hello, this is from Dhaval Ramani, BE19. Is he present in the audience?
He's a head, we'll include him in the executive consultation. Just we'll go to the other audience first, right? Anyone from the audience have any questions? Just a second, we'll come back to you if that's okay. If anyone else from the audience have any questions? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, my question for you is what exactly is ARC office under IR? Because I'm not aware of any ARC office, and under one of your initiatives you mentioned that ARC office would be.
That was a typo. It says here office.
Yeah.
Anyone else from the audience? Yeah, we can move back to Executive Council.
Hello.
Hi Satyendra, I have a question with respect to alumni mentorship program. So you have mentioned about providing mentorship to the incubated startups in Nirman, right? So my question is this program specifically for the Nirman startups? And is it only restricted to the technical mentorship? If no, if you plan to go outside Nirman, does it not clash with what ESL is already doing in the institute? And if you think that it's only restricted for the Nirman startups, don't you think that it's more or less a similar point which Aspiring COCAS also wants to do, and it's also mentioned in the manifesto? So do you plan to do this in collaboration, or is it going to be a separate initiative?
So as I talked with you earlier also that I don't want to clash with ESL, and it will only be technical mentorship, because I talked with Anirudh and he told that some of the Nirman startups are facing issues in terms of technical mentorship. And the second thing is, I actually didn't know that Vaibhavi has put it as her manifesto point, and if she is also doing it and I am also doing it, I will be very happy to collaborate and work together.
In your feasibility report, you have also mentioned one point with respect to unconventional careers. So does this include entrepreneurial enthusiasts also in the institute?
No, actually, it's basically for people who want to, let's say, go for design or filmmaking or careers for which not many placement opportunities are there in the institute.
So this is again regarding the winter industry program, right? So let's say currently in our internship portal there are about 140 companies. So close to about 20 of them are already from alumni, right? So what workflow we follow is that anyone who claims to be an alumni company of IIT Madras, right? We send it to IIT office and say if this person is actually an alumni of IIT, we confirm that, and we go ahead with the process. So this is what we do. So we already have about 20 companies doing that. So if you are going to do a separate drive for this, will you be adding to the existing internship program? Are you going to convert companies for me or give it to me? Or as they said, are you going to run a parallel process? That is my first question. My second question is, traditionally in whatever internship or placement activities that happen outside the purview of the IITM internship and placement team, the recall rate, that is if an offer is made, the odds of it being rescinded, right, is 10 times more than what we do. So we have less than 2%, others are more than 20%. That is the stat that is already out there. So how are you going to make sure that in case you are doing something separate, that the numbers will be as low as possible?
So to answer the first question, in the winter industry program, will be open for the first year, second year, and for the pre-final students who are going to apply for that. So we'll make sure that the people who have already got an internship, they won't be able to apply for that particular internship for those kind of opportunities. And second thing is, what you asked? What was your second question?
The recall rate.
Yeah. In terms of revoking of the internship offer, so since we are getting it from the alumni, I mean there's anyways a sense of accountability there. So there's anyways a sense of accountability which is there. So which will ensure that there's less number of offers which are revoked. So yeah, that's how that's how I'm basically thinking that the very less number of offers will be revoked from the alumni, because anyways they had been part of institute, so they won't do that. I mean out of goodwill, but yeah, it might happen, and with time this will improve. The existing program will improve.
My question is the same thing again. So if we are giving multiple avenues for one person to choose and come for the same thing, aren't we causing confusion to the person who wants to come to our campus? Because now you have ESL intern fair, then you have, we do winter internships as well, right? Because if they want, I don't say no, for pre-final years, any internship they can do, because 6 weeks is the minimum you need for it to be credited, and the winter vacation is exactly 6 weeks by design.
Yeah.
So we do allow that, and now you want to do something. So if we're going to add more and more avenues, why are we confusing people who want to recruit students from IIT Madras?
I mean, it's not about, so the opportunities or the companies I will be, or the alums I will be, mailing them in order to get their opportunities. If they are already in the existing procedure, right, in the existing procedure inside IITM related to any internship or placement procedure, they will anyways apply with the same thing that, okay, we are anyways part of the existing internship process, okay. But the opportunities which had never been tapped before, I am actually trying to tap those opportunities, and the only purpose of collaborating with AS and doing it on the on the same internship portal is because so that students have a centralized, it will be a kind of a centralized portal for all the internships that are happening inside the institute.
Just a
Yeah, I mean, see, the pitch to the alumni is just that if you have some opportunities, then we have some students who want to work, and they won't be much technically advanced, but yeah, like you can have them as your kind of a project member or any intern.
So what I'm gathering is basically you're saying you would be conducting a separate initiative altogether instead of doing this in collaboration, is what you're implying.
So currently,
whatever is happening currently, you agree with that, and what you're saying is that you would be proposing a simultaneous initiative that would be complementary to the existing pathway, right? Is that what you're saying? Or you would basically be adding on to that, doing it in collaboration, or do you want to do it independently?
So anyways, I'm doing in collaboration. Anyways, we are doing in collaboration with the. Anyways, we are doing in collaboration with AS portal. I am taking help of the AS portal, and
not just portal, in terms of also manpower, because manpower, I mean, pulling off the entire initiative in terms of getting the companies shortlisted, pulling off interviews, syncing the calendars, all of that.
Yeah, if we have a shortage of manpower, we'll surely reach out to the other bodies in the institute to help us with that, to help us in terms of manpower, in terms of logistic issues.
Why not do it in collaboration though?
Yeah, we can do that in collaboration. I mean, we can do that in collaboration also.
What is restricting you to do that?
No,
Yes, exactly.
See, one thing I'm trying to put here, like even they are trying to put here, is that INR is the kind of sphere which could have collaboration with all the other spheres, and this is, this is one of the spheres that could have as many as possible, and that is not capitalized to its, greatest extent. And you're trying to do something on your own, which could be as a collaboration, which could be started as a collaboration, and you're not trying to do that. You're still trying to justify it starting on its own. Whereas there are programs already established. If you add on to it, it'll be much bigger and better, and INR will still get the due credit that it should get.
yeah, that's true. Actually, I thought it the other way, that we'll first start it, establish it in such a way so that the other teams will also be interested for the collaboration. But yeah, I mean, we can go for collaboration with this.
Okay. One thing, you have 1 year's tenure. How do you expect the next INR secretary to not have the same views as you do? If you do not start as a collaboration, why won't it continue on its own?
Yeah, so if I do not start to see, the thing is, if I this year if I start the program on my own, and if there is any problem that comes up, or if it does not go well, I mean, then it won't ruin their existing the existing initiative that they are doing, right? But if
We are just stretching the question, so we will move forward to the next question.
This one. So basically what he's telling is, I'm guessing most of us have done a POE course here, right? That is why we do trade, specialization. Everyone should specialize in what we do. Otherwise there is no point, because the overall benefit of specialization is so high that if everyone wants to do a bit of everything, 1 year is not enough for us to do. We are not full-time secretaries, we are 1 year secretaries. So specializing will help everyone. That is all I want to make a point.
Yeah, okay, Satyan. So I like your answers. Very good, nice. So I'll be moving on to very specific questions, and I just want to know your views as fast as possible because we have very less time and have a lot of questions. So what do you think about the current visibility of IR Student Council towards GSB? And I mean, I can see your audience is completely filled. So yeah.
yeah, so currently the visibility of India Council on GSB is less, and it's actually decreasing in the last.
Okay.
It has actually decreased in the last.
Wait, let him complete. Let him complete.
Fine. Yeah. Be specific in your answer so that. So, as you said, it's less. So, what are your plans to? Do you want to increase the visibility or not?
Yeah, I want to increase the visibility.
So, why is there no manifesto point? There is no visibility point in your manifesto that caters to it, or is there a point that I missed?
No, there isn't any point, but in my tenure, the vision that I have is to include. I mean, see, if we see India Council, there is one team for ITM TV, and they are actually engaging with the first year students with their ACC program. So they have a very good visibility among the students, but the other teams do not have that volunteership program. So in my tenure, I want to the current initiative that I am taking up.
Just a correction, Chennai 36 has a volunteership program which happens in the event semester.
So
even ARC has this, but it's during the online.
Yeah, during the 2 years of online, we didn't have those many volunteership experience, right? And in my tenure, I want to first get that old culture back. I mean, the teams which had volunteership program again start the same culture, and the teams which are new and have their own initiatives. I mean, they can also start this volunteership program in order to increase the visibility.
Understandable. So, volunteership program is what you're looking into, right? And currently, as far as I know, the DOST does not allow, like specifically the first year students to get into teams as such. So, with respect to so many different teams in IR Council, how do you make sure the volunteership programs actually penetrate through? Because there are so many other events happening around as volunteership that is available to the freshies. For example, Sangam, which they are more interested in, or Sarang, or what they are more interested in. So how do you plan on pitching this to the first year students in general?
So if we see like some of the initiatives that I have mentioned under global engagement, like GE Weekender or Acculturation, So these kind of initiatives under it, if we get volunteers as iPass in teams, so they will have an opportunity to basically roam with the foreign students or enjoy the culture, right? So with that, I personally feel that if there is an enjoyment part among, and if they get an enjoyment part, then freshies are attracted to the same teams and same council, right? So with those kind of initiatives, the enjoyment part will be more. So
Correct. So the environment point, as you said, is a very good point, very valid point. I agree with you completely. But that's possible for teams like ITMTV or GE Council through some issue. What about other teams like ARC or CRC? What is your plan for those?
yeah, for CRC,
Again, sorry, I stopped in between. So because the kind of work even CRC does is very similar to what a Sarang Spawns or Shastra Spawns would be doing, right? Do you agree with that? Yeah. So how do you ensure that the talent comes up at the right time when there is no existing culture already in place for those teams?
Mhm. So, in order to get volunteers or in order to attract the first years, we need to have flagship events of every team, right? CRC has started that they are having the industry conclave, and in the same way, IBC will also have their branding conclave, right? So, in those initiatives, if we start getting volunteers and if we start sending out forms and getting volunteers and showing them some incentives, like they will have an exposure to the for industry conclave, it will be an exposure to the startup venture capital. For IBC, exposure to the branding world. So with that, they might get interested. They will get interested. They will be a part of the teams. I mean, in the volunteership.
Yeah. So all these events that you said just now, have you mentioned it in your timeline, in your feasibility report? Is there a timeline for all the events across the teams?
In the feasibility, I have not mentioned. Industry conclave is already happening.
Yeah, that is there, but the new events.
Yeah, branding conclave, I have mentioned its timeline. It's in the March, and basically, I want to have branding conclave and industry conclave in just a week.
Yeah, we will move forward to the virtual audience question. There are a few more virtual audience questions. After that, we will come back to you again.
Hello. These questions are from Sakshi Singh. With first one, with the MBA students being so active in the IARSC, how are you planning the hierarchy ensuring they don't get the same designation as the first and second year BTech students?
Yeah, so currently the team which I was heading this year, which I am heading this year actually, Institute Branding Cell, so we had DOMS people in it, and they used to start, their designation used to start from managers and then strategists. It's true that, we can't discriminate a student on the basis of which program is he from, like whether he's from BTech or whether he's from DOMS, right? So that's why, I can't segregate a different position for people just because they are coming from, different programs. But yeah, IIT Council is very inclusive to the DOMS students, and we are actually very happy to have. So, we are already having them, and with time we'll also improve it.
Okay, the next question. With so many teams under IIR, with interdependencies, example IBC and design team, how are you going to ensure more reliability and accountability for getting work done per schedule? You know the issues.
Yeah, I know the issues. Actually, I face the issues. So currently, the issue that happened this year was with design team that we couldn't get the posters done. So one of the major things that needs to be done in order to tackle this issue is to form a better team with a better head, and to attract more talent pool towards our team, and this will help in improving the accountability and improving the inter-team work culture.
Next is by Draxler John. Will you, as an IAR secretary, bring about a change? It's a complete. It was always quite rampant to put a lot of pressure for content with deadlines being given at short notices, with little to no credit being given to the designers in the IAR Student Council. Will you, as an IAR secretary, bring about a change in this pyramid scheme of where a secretary was not even aware of the plight of the managers, and how can you prevent such power trips this year?
See, I'm not sure how a secretary was not aware of the plight of managers, because we have a INDR council group in which every student and everyone who is a part of INDR council, he is part of that WhatsApp group. And also the secretary has always been very approachable. They were doing personal meets with every team. So secretaries were always very approachable. And if there was any credit issues, then with design team we didn't have actually many content coming from the design team this year. So but in future if we are putting up some content, we'll tag the member who has designed that particular poster. We are already doing it with ITM TV, that if we are putting up anything, we tag the person who has made that particular thing. Yeah, but we can go for the design team also. That's it.
Yeah, so as you said just now, ITM TV is already focusing completely on this, on that sphere for now on. So can you just explain all the purposes that you believe are there in ITM, that ITM TV has, and what it should do more, and yeah, that's it.
So the purpose of ITM TV, basically the visions of ITM TV is brand IIT Madras and to showcase the student culture. So that is basically the vision, and that should also be the major purpose. The major.
So how does ITM TV do it right now? Can you explain it to me in some points?
Yeah. So the videos, like let's say the Valentine videos, okay, or the 420 not out videos. So basically it depicts the student culture. Basically, like 420 not out was something, a student problem or a student issue that they faced, that they were at home, and the happiness that they got after coming to history.
So do you think NIRF1 ranking institute needs to showcase a branding of Valentine Day video?
Yeah, so see, Valentine is something which is a part of student culture, right? It's
just a second, Sajid. So guys who are sitting on the first two rows, please maintain decorum. It's an important event. You are listening to very important conversation. Please maintain the decorum. Please do not laugh sitting on the first two rows. Yeah, good.
So if we see the love culture, or basically that culture which Valentine caters to, the Valentine Day caters to, that is something which is very natural and which is very normal among the students, among the age of students who are living inside the campus. So if you are depicting it with the help of a video, I think we are depicting a part of student culture only.
Okay.
Yeah, but since we are already out of time, we will be taking executive council questions and core questions for only 5 minutes. After that, we will move to SEC questions.
Okay. So as you said, I just want to know the stakeholders involved in this branding that you're saying. Stakeholders.
In branding of
Yeah.
So the stakeholders are one is IBC.
No. The stakeholders of the ITM TV video. What branding does it do? What are the stakeholders? What audience does it cater to? Inside institute and outside institute.
Okay. So inside institute, all the students of ITM, they are one of the stakeholders or the viewers of ITM TV videos. Apart from it, the students who want to come to IIT Madras, this is a curiosity. A lot of students who are, when they are preparing for JEE or any competitive exam in order to get in ITM, they just see the videos of, videos which are of IIT Madras depicting student culture.
Okay, fine. Coming back to, again, 1 second. So, can you just tell me what was the current budget for ITM TV, or what budget does it function on?
Currently, there was a budget of 7 lakh which was sanctioned some years
And
back.
what is the equipment that ITM TV currently possesses?
Yeah, so currently there are no permanent equipment that ITM TV possesses, and basically
Okay, fair enough. That's your answer. There is a specific point in your thing for ITM TV called rebrand, which has a point saying that there will be videos, which has a point in the feasibility saying there will be videos every month. How do you expect, with zero equipment, zero budget, for ITM TV to function on that timeline?
Yeah. So currently, we are going to have a tendering process. We are going to go in a contract from where it will be.
Actually, Satyendra, I'm so sorry to stop you in between, but you're saying that we have these item TV videos which are being made. This is essentially content generation and the work of Chennai 36, but in this point, Chennai 36 isn't mentioned anywhere. So I want to know who is taking the interviews, who are the people who are generating the content over here, and why do you want to know professors' ka personal lives apart from academics, which is not pertaining to institute? Could you give me clarity on that?
Yeah. So first I will give this question.
Yeah, sure.
So, to answer Amrit's question, we are going to have a contract with one of the companies, and in 2 weeks, as said by Mahesh sir currently. So, in 2 weeks, we will have that contract by which we'll be able to take any equipment from that given company, and we don't need to submit our ID cards also, and the money process and the money flow also won't be there. I mean, since there will be a contract. So there won't be any issue in, taking any equipment or renting any.
Yeah, last 2 questions. After this, we will move to SEC questions.
Finish answering my question.
Yeah. So content generation is one of the major responsibility of C36. But I mean, it's something podcast series that we are doing of the professors. First of all, that why we need to have a podcast series of professors is because there are many students, especially the PG students when they are coming to IIT Madras, they want to know their professors because professors play a very important role.
By the way, series of podcast of professors, by the way, isn't this already being done by IITM TV and C36? Like over the past, more than, at least in the last 3 years, this has happened from IITM TV and C36. Why is this again on your manifesto? It has happened in the past.
Yeah, so it has happened in the past, but my motivation or my thought of having a kind of a series of podcasts. My motivation of having a series of podcasts was to basically from every department we will be taking 1 2 professors, having a conversation with them, and with that conversation, basically bringing students closer to the professor. So that is my major motivation. It might have been done in the past, but it was not something which was done in continuation. So I want to have it in continuation.
Okay, so just a simple question here. Who is taking the interviews exactly? Who is deciding what are the questions that we're asking? And specifically when you're talking about rebrand, when you're talking about labs that are happening in institute, where is the admin sign off on this? So who is really regulating the content that is coming out specifically about the labs in institute?
Yeah. So any content that comes up in rebrand, it will be first of all we'll show it to the professor.
No, who does it? Who takes the interviews? Give me a simple answer first.
So in rebrand, I think we don't need to have many interviews actually. Rebrand is basically a kind of branding of the research labs. We don't need to have many interviews in that. But yeah, in outside the lab we need to have interviews, and for that I think
she's asking a simple question.
Yeah.
Who's gonna take the interviews?
Yeah.
That's it.
Actually,
Who is asking this question? Who is saying, who are you? What do you do?
Yeah. So, I mean,
are you just trying to avoid saying Chennai 36 because it's not mentioned here?
Yeah, I actually forgot to write C36 in outside.
How can you forget to write C36? We've had multiple discussions about the same points.
Yeah, outside the lab, I actually forgot, but in rebrand, actually, we can do it with ITM TV guys only because.
So when exactly does ITM TV come into content generation? Yeah, when did ITM TV
Wait. Ask one by one. No.
When did ITM TV start interviewing people?
So for those interview that happened, so there was an ITM TV guy only, right, who interviewed those. Yeah, so.
Wait. Bro, don't disturb. Let him ask.
See, I'm just.
Yeah, see
I
that.
just have one final question, which is about the Mask Out series. And this is an initiative which particularly involves Chennai 36. And we have met multiple times on campus, yet in an initiative in which Chennai 36 is prominently featured, there is no feasibility check from the Chennai 36 head.
Yeah.
Are you unaware that there is a Chennai 36 head?
I've actually messaged you the same regarding the same initiative, and you messaged me back that I will get back to you, but you didn't get back.
So it's my job to get back to you.
We will move forward to the next question.
I have four questions regarding your manifesto points. So you have mentioned initiatives like alumni career mentorship program, alumni e-sport competitions, and recall. So may I know which teams from IIS Student Council will take this up?
ARC.
And in your manifesto point, in your feasibility report, you haven't discussed about these points with ARC heads. What about it?
No, I have actually discussed all the points with you. I mean,
That was brainstorming. After brainstorming, when you finalized the ideas, you never came back me to or Fazil to ask about the feasibility report.
I mean, the other stakeholders were completely fine with it. IIT and all.
But at the end, ARC is going to take this, right? So ARC heads should be accepting that, okay, this is feasible or we can go forward with it.
Yeah, that is something.
And second question regarding the timeline. In your feasibility report, you have mentioned the timelines and initiatives like what all you will be doing. But since the ARCs come, the next year will be on ground, and there are like ARC's team is facing like bandwidth issues. Like we don't have many managers to work on that. Like we have various on ground events. How you will ensure that this all initiatives will be taken by ARC when ARC has the initiatives which are year long?
Yeah, I mean, see, in the feasibility, see, I've done a teamwork management and team. Just a second. So, in only April month, I guess I'll be having for my alumni career mentorship program during the April, May, and June month. These 3 months, I'll be needing more of the ARC managers. After that, the system or the pipeline will be set up. So there won't be much ARC managers would be involved after June. Okay. And for the esports competition, I will be involving ARC managers during the December time. So apart from this too, and for the winter industry program, the contracting part will anyways be done by.
I didn't ask about winter internship program in my question.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just telling it since you asked about timeline, so I'm telling about the timeline, right?
No, I want timeline about these three initiatives, not the other ones.
Which thing?
Alumni career mentorship program,
Okay.
alumni e-sport competition, and recall.
Yeah. So recall is something that it will happen during the.
I know what is recall regarding the time.
Let him answer right.
Okay, cool.
Recall will happen during September. Okay. Alumni career mentorship program during the month of April, May, and June. We will be having the majority of work will be during these 3 months only. When the contacting alumni, mapping alumni with the students, this thing will take place. Okay. And the other initiative, which one?
Alumni e-sport competition.
Alumni e-sports competition, we will be doing it during December, and I have taken the feasibility from Sabri. He is e-sports convener right now. Okay, and he told me that we will be needing only 2 to 3 people, and they won't be much mature people. I mean, we can actually include volunteers during December.
No, so you talk to esports convener.
Yeah.
Wait, so you want to do this in December?
Yeah.
December is when inter-IT cultural meets happen.
Esports is not a part
And
of
also, esports is planned to be a part of inter-IT cultures. The talk has already happened. So next year, the esports contingent, nor the esports conveners, no one will be free to do this in December.
So after inter-IT cultures happen, after esports, after your inter-IT cultures happen, okay. After that, we can have this.
After that is your alumni reunion.
So see, I mean, we'll figure out the timeline. So currently, we don't have the time, we don't have a fixed timeline for the inter-IT cultures also. We don't have the fixed. I mean. Yeah, these all 3 happen in the December month, but we don't have the current, I mean, exact date timeline, right?
Also regarding the esports thing, did you contacted the esports club convener regarding whether he is okay with this or not? Did you check the feasibility?
Bro, I actually told multiple times.
Because when I contacted him, he said that he didn't contact.
You can call him right now, bro. I have contacted him at least twice. Okay, I have contacted Sabri at least twice, and I have formatted a whole plan within that. What are the games that we'll do and how much money it will cost, and everything I have discussed with him.
Okay, when I asked him, he said that you didn't
Last 5 minutes for the executive council questioning. So after that we'll move to the SSC questioning.
Also, I think Akshal from the audience has a question. We'll take that first. Yeah, we'll take that first. We'll come to you later.
Yeah, so I had a complimentary question to them. In the past, 2 separate offices have been formed, the Global Engagement Office and the KCR office, right? And the rebranding was done to focus on corporate relations as well. Now, when I see your manifesto itself, there are 5 points, 4 particularly pertaining to the alumni relations, and 1 pertaining to CSR, which would most likely be handled by the office, right? So why are there no specific points pertaining to corporate relations when the entire motive of rebranding of the offices itself was to promote corporate relations particularly?
So the reason of not having a very separate point for the CRC is to first we need to streamline the whole team, okay? Because we need to improve the existing initiative that CRC is doing currently, in terms of bringing more affinity days, in terms of bringing more sponsorships, because these are the major things that a CRC team is supposed to do, but we haven't been able to go to that target, or we haven't been able to meet that benchmark. So the existing things should be done in a better way for CRC. That's why I had only one initiative related to CRC.
Okay.
Last two questions.
Yeah, okay. I had something that I was really curious about, right? So the Global Engagement Office has consistently stressed that we need to turn away from branding IIT Madras as a cultural space into a place where you can have fantastic research opportunities and fantastic academic opportunities at affordable rates, right? Yeah. IBC had plans regarding this 2 years ago. Similarly, IBC had plans regarding this for students, bringing in students from around 2 years ago. I think our AES mentioned that as well. What are you planning to do this year for the same? Because there's nothing in your manifesto about it.
Bro, I just told sometime
back. This part, bro. You've not said anything about research and branding IIT Madras as a research hub. You've said that you're going to show professor skill soft sides. That is not branding.
Bro, there is International Research Symposium in my manifesto. Okay. You can see that.
Which is something that other teams don't do.
I have one question. You have mentioned Parents' Day in your manifesto. So, can you explain who is gonna handle the Parents' Day and the logistics behind, the timeline?
So, for Parents' Day, we will be requiring around 14 to 16 people in order to carry out that particular initiative. Okay. In terms of volunteers for the morning campus tour, and also for the events that are going to happen at night. I have talked with some of the orchestras also outside, and they have agreed that they will come up, set up all the logistics, and they will do the night culture program also. So for that we don't need any student involvement. Okay, we'll be having around 14. See, this will happen around 17 July is the date of convocation. So 15 July is what tentatively I am thinking to have Parents' Day. Right, this is 15 days before our next session starts. So if I ask from my under council that the people who are interested and can come 15 days earlier, they can. I mean, some of the students will be there who will be interested to be part of that process, and they will come and in this way I can carry out that initiative.
Which team will handle this?
We will move forward to the next question. Let him.
So Parents' Day initiative is very nice. Okay, I really liked it. So my concern is approximately 1,600 students graduate every year. Suppose 1,000 students turn up for, and students of parents of 1,000 students turn up for this Parents' Day. Okay, there will be 1,000 students and 1,000 parents. So totally 2,000 people you need to handle. Okay, if you don't have students team involvement, how would you ensure that everything works smoothly? And how would you ensure that you'll manage 2,000 people on campus? IIS Student Council doesn't have that much bandwidth, okay? And that's why the question makes sense, because which team will handle or which team will take major stake on this?
See, for the same specific reason, we'll first roll out a Google form. We'll get to know that how many parents are coming up and want to be part of that particular thing. Okay. And then, according to that, how many people are coming up, we'll make suitable arrangements. We'll take up volunteers or try to, increase the number of managers that we take in IBC. So it's simple. I mean, we can do that first, but first of all, we need to get a number of parents who are going to come, right? It's not something that, okay, I have written in my manifesto, I want to do that, but during that process only I might be able to figure out that how many people I need and what are the things that will come up, right? And so initially only I cannot just set a number that I need 10 people or 20 people or 40 people for the same thing. Yeah, you may go ahead.
So yeah, so then this is going to be the final question from me for today. So as far as I know, because you have taken a lot of funding from me and all, you are very well aware of the fact that IIT does not have equipment or funding whatsoever. But on your manifesto, I don't see any point that explores avenues to getting funding or money for IIT. That is one thing. Secondly, if that's the attitude that IR Seki towards has its team, that he says that receives the most visibility from the freshies in general, then do you really think the council is being just to ITM-TV? And do we have any value, does the team have any value inside the sphere? If not, then what if it does not have, like, that's what the conception is what we get right now. Because currently we don't feel, the team does not feel wanted. And if that's going to be the scenario during your tenure, then why not IIT-TV just get separated from its sphere? Because I'm pretty sure there are a lot of other spheres we could generally fitting within the culture, the specific answers that you give to the vision, the purpose of IIT-TV, that is branding of IIT Madras and its culture.
So to answer that, none of my manifesto points actually caters to get additional funding for IIT-TV. But yeah, the vision that I had, I mean, I actually talked with you also and with Abhishek also and even with Nihar also that we need to explore more avenues. I mean, the work for which office is actually hiring people from outside the video.
Wait, let him complete now.
Because that is something which I cannot guarantee, right? I mean, if
you can't guarantee funding for your own team, is that what you mean?
No, I am saying that if, I want to explore that particular avenue of collaborating with the different admin offices or admin sites where they are hiring people from outside, so they just use the in-house IIT-TV and carry out their particular thing that they want to do, right? But I cannot promise, I mean, the reason why I didn't put it on my manifesto is because I can't, currently I haven't talked to them. So during my tenure, I'll for sure try to talk to those offices and try to get opportunities for IIT-TV to get some funding.
Can I ask one last question?
No, that is all. We will wrap up the session.
He confirmed that we'll ask two questions, one from Siddhartha and one from me and my family.
No last two questions. We have already up the time. We are already on the time limit. It's already like we'd like to wrap up the session now. It'll be like a long day for us as well, right?
One question.
Yeah, let him ask last question. This is the last question.
Yeah. So Satindra, the entire soapbox, what I think at least I understood was that there is a bandwidth issue in terms of the manpower from the ISPR as well. And your stance seems very, I mean, I'm in a very dilemma state as to what is your stand in terms of the collaborations that you want to take up with other spheres. So for me as a co-curricular affairs secretary or for any other sphere secretary, what is an incentive for me to come to you and ask for any help or collaborate with you if you don't want to? Be in terms of getting any alumni, getting any CSR funding, I can directly go to ITMA, I can directly go to ACR office, I can directly go to any of your portals. What is my incentive to not bypass the IS secretary and directly go? If you yourself don't want to collaborate with any other spheres.
I'll be very happy to collaborate with any other sphere. But yeah, the initiative that I did, that I've taken, I mean, for a start, I just thought that I'll do it from my side alone. But yeah, I'll be happy to collaborate, and in future, I mean, if I see that if I'm able to, if I'm not able to do that particular thing on my own, and then I will collaborate with. Then I will collaborate a particular body which has done that particular initiative in a better way. So yeah.
So I just would like to point out that you shouldn't go to any sphere or any other organization if you are stuck somewhere. If you're starting off something, anything in the institute and there is an existing body, it should happen in collaboration, and I think all the secretaries, all the executive wing or the council will agree.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, now we will move to the SEC questioning. One of the commissioner will ask the question.
Hello. So what all reports and documents will you present to the SLCSM International Alumni Secretary?
One is the midterm report, the yearly report. Apart from it, financial reports, I think in every 2 months I need to present in front of the standing committee. And budgets also, like that is passed by SSC. And yes.
Yeah, so like every executive council member maintain a rule book. So if you want to make any change in the rule book, how will you proceed?
So for making any change in the rule book, I'll first propose it in the SLC, and if a majority of legislators pass that particular rule book, then
No, it's not get done like this. So like the respective committee has to verify it, and it should be ratified by the SLC. Like first, it should be verified by the SLC committee.
Yeah, verification.
Okay, considering that there is no particular deadline given to when you have to submit, imagine that you are not able to submit on time due to various reasons. What all penalty would you suggest for yourself?
First of all, I will try to submit the report on the time that it should be submitted on. But if I am not able to submit, I'll take up the punishment which the council decides upon. It's not something which I think the thing that comes up to my mind is something like, I'll try to actually get it on time, and if I'm not able to do, then there isn't any punishment that comes on the top of my head right now to give to myself.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so by this we will conclude the session. Thank you everyone.